Hello there. I'm Scotty. You're not. So look, the Ghoulies of the Ghoulies 2. Let's talk about Ghoulies 3. Ghoulies Go to College. It features a blink and you'll miss it. Literally, because I missed it. I didn't see it until uh, I watched someone's video, Joe Blow's video on it. But blink, I knew he was in the movie though, because I Wikipedia and stuff. But like, blink and you'll miss a cameo from Matthew Lillard. I thought he was more in the movie than he was, but no. The Ghoulies are back and they're not in continuity anymore. Because we start off this movie. So, first of all, before I get into the stuff, this was different. Different than the other two. The other two, while containing goofy little puppet creatures, had a pretty serious tone. You can take that, throw it out the goddamn window, and they probably would. There's no seriousness in this movie at all. Like at all? Not really. No. So Charlie Band, he did the first two. He produced the first two. He gave up the rights to the Ghoulies to Vestron Video, which I'm hoping will eventually release, unless MVD has the rights to 3. I want a release of 3. Because like after watching this, because I was gonna get them. The other two they don't have a release of 3. They don't have a Blu-ray of 3. You can only get like the 3 in a pack, and I don't even think it's like an American release, a U.S. release. So I was like, oh, whatever. But after watching this, I kind of want a Blu-ray release of this. So hopefully someone, really Vestron or MVD, someone. Release it, I'll buy it, I'll get it. Just, yeah. So, Charlie Band, no longer involved with this. But, who is John Carl Buechler, who not only still does the effects, and oh my god, the effects, but is the director of this film. He directed Troll and Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood, right? Yeah, and this. And as you can tell by the title, it takes place at a college campus. Yes, where there's a prank war between two different fraternities. One led by our protagonist, Skip, who I thought wasn't going to be the protagonist, but then you get Jeremy, who is like his rival, who's also trying to steal his girlfriend. And there's this rivalry between them, and the Ghoulies are smack dab in the middle. So we start 21 years earlier, which puts this out of continuity with the first two. Like, I could kind of say maybe the second one is in continuity, but these are, it's an anthology series. There's no way there's any continuity now, because I don't know. Because like what's the first one? It's how many years before then the events of the first one were then things. No, but they are summoned by some college kid who puts them inside of a comic book, and then doesn't destroy the comic book, but instead hides it in a fraternity bathroom, where it's found by Wes, the resident comic book reader, and it is taken from him by Professor Ragnar, played by Kevin McCarthy, who you may know from the original Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Or maybe you've seen the Twilight Zone, the movie, specifically the Joe Dante segment with the freakish bunny rabbit coming out of the TV. Yeah, that's him. Yeah. And Kevin McCarthy is the best thing in this movie. He is fantastic, especially towards the end. But we meet our main character Skip, and we find out that they're in a prank war. Certain, benches being flipped over, or ejector seat benches, he calls it. Good with the things. And but Ragnar doesn't like it. I thought it was going to be revealed that Ragnar was the one for 21 years ago who locked him away, but I don't think it was. And the age thing probably wouldn't work. Maybe, I don't know. And we meet Skip's girlfriend or love interest, Erin, played by Eva LaRue. Took me a minute. I'm like, who is it? I know her. I know her. It's one of those, I know her. Who is that? And then I looked it up. They don't have a Wikipedia page, so I go on IMDb. I prefer Wikipedia. It's just my preference. But I go on IMDb and I saw her name and I'm like, that's it. Eva LaRue. That's it. I know her. She's George Lopez's sister from the George Lopez show. She's been in other things, but she was Danny Tanner's wife on Fuller House. Yeah. Until she left him. But, yeah. But, yeah, she doesn't like the prank war. She thinks it's immature, so she's... Okay, most of the movie she's off with Jeremy, and Jeremy's off screen too. It's supposed to be his love triangle, but they barely do anything with it, really. They just, like, here and there. But, yeah, so... Wes sort of summons the Ghoulies, but not really. But then, when Ragnar gets a hold of it, he fully summons the Ghoulies, and they talk now. They talk, and one of them is Richard Kind. You know, Paul from Spin City. He kind of talks like this. You know his voice anyway, because he sounds like this. Yeah. I'm like, that's Richard Kind. I think he's the... I don't know. But yeah, they're different. They're also a little bit bigger. But yeah, you get a little bit more of them this time. But it's still... So they start... First of all, there's this whole scene. It goes on for way too long. It doesn't make any sense. So, the guys are hosting a party at their frat house. But then they decide, hey, let's go pull pranks on the other frat. So that everyone, including Jason Scott Lee, who's in this movie, leaves to go prank them except for Wes and his girlfriend, who... My God, she's just turned on by everything. At one point, they're just standing on the treadmill, and she's going, I'm like, not even doing anything. Like, I don't know, she's just turned on by everything. But, like, Victoria, I think her name is. And it's one of those cases where it's a sex scene without boobage. This one confused me, because, like, okay, she didn't want to do nudity. But afterwards, and I think she maybe had to be coerced. I don't know how good that is. I bet that is. And then where it's like, okay, I'll do nudity, but only quickly. Because it's like, they had the sex scene. You don't see anything. You see him take the bra off and throw it, and it lands on one of the Ghoulies' faces. He goes, blah, 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 you know. And then he's like, oh, I heard a noise. I think someone's calling for me. So he goes to leave. And just quickly, you see the blanket's over, and her boobie pop out. But then, when it cuts back, it's covered again. So it's like, oh, you get one shot. That's it. That's fine. Next time we see her, she's clothed again. But he goes, and this kill, this is the first actual kill of the movie, mind you. And if this doesn't tell you what kind of movie this is, the Ghoulies attack him. And not only that, they flush him down the toilet, which is physically impossible. They do. They attack him, they wrap him up with something, and then they shove him in the toilet, and they flush the thing, which I think it's a pull. I don't know. They flush it, and he goes down the toilet. That doesn't make any sense. Also, they frame it as he's dead. I guess you kind of would be, but he'd be stuck in the pipes, right? I don't know. We never see him again. And then they decide to start trashing the house. And I'm like, okay, so she left off screen, right? Victoria? But later, she has dialogue with Skip where she's like, oh, when I came downstairs, the whole place was trash. You didn't hear any of that? They are loud as hell. They're drinking all the beer. All, what is it, 2,000 and something of all the beer. Even whatever, I don't know, it's supposed to be like Drano or something, they're drinking it. One of them was like, I like it. Also, they do the Three Stooges gag where it's like they're saying one thing, prank war, or, what is it? Prank war, pancake. I don't know what it is. Prank week, pancake. Yeah. So Skip and his buddy Mookie, who is Fester. I was like, I know him. Where do I know him from? And I go, oh, Fester. Who is Fester? Three Ninjas. It's the, whoa, dude, with the beard and the long hair and the hat. oh, come on, little dude, we're gonna get you. That guy, we got pizza. You know, that guy. We don't want to hurt you, just want to kidnap you. That guy. That guy, yeah. So, yeah, I'm like, I never recognize him. What they do is they mess up Jeremy's motorcycle or scooter, whatever it is. They just let him lose something. They they just put a little prank on it. But the Ghoulies show up and completely destroy it and throw it in a tree. And the next day they find it, and this security cop guy is all pissed. And while he is berating them, the Ghoulies are re-rigging the freaking his little cart thing, and then he turns it on. He's electrocuted, but he doesn't die because he shows up later in the movie. You get electrocuted, your heart is going to stop. Unless he was revived and immediately went to go. So, meanwhile, Ragnar realizes that he has power and is controlling them to escalate this prank war so that he can get rid of both of the fraternities, which wouldn't pass. By the way, he's only a professor, as far as we know. He's not the dean of students. He's not in charge of anything. He's got the same capacity as Richard Vernon in The Breakfast Club, which is not very much power, but apparently he has enough. And Kevin McCarthy is chewing up the scenery. He is great in this. I gotta tell you, he is great. He's just great. He's fantastic. He's the best part of this movie. I told you that. And so then something happens with Ragnar's desk, and he immediately blames it on Skip, even though it wasn't him. We do find out it was Jeremy and the other frat later. And he basically brags about this, not knowing that Aaron, who he's been trying to get in bed this whole movie, is right there. So, oh, well, really? And then something weird happens. So, when she's standing there, I think she's wearing yellow. But then when she goes to talk to Skip, she's wearing completely different clothes. Like, did she take a whole day to get to him to apologize? Or what? Then they have sex, off screen, of course. What? It starts with a kiss, and then they're just in bed, and she's laughing, and he's doing something with a dustbuster down there. I don't know what that's supposed to do, but I don't think that... Whose idea was that? I don't... Whatever. So he's basically chosen her, and that causes problems between him and Mookie, because Mookie just wants to get the prank war and get the crown, you know? And he's realized that love is more important than pranks, which is the right thing. I guess. I would say so, yeah. But, I'm not centered. That's a problem. Better? So, Ragnar instructs them, the Ghoulies, to kill Skip. They end up killing someone else. And so, but the other frat and Jeremy show up to confront Skip, and they basically won't let him go, but they let her go. Like, forget about it. So she goes to call the cops, and the joke is she called 411 instead of 911. Well, this is 411. He went 911 because she's like, someone's been murdered, and she's like, oh, this is 411. He went 911 for that, but you can still call 911. For 411 is information, in case you didn't know. For all those people who are too young to remember what 411 is, that was information. But you could also just dial 0 for the operator to get information. I don't know. She calls 911, but Ragnar shows up and is like, oh no, you don't. So he kidnaps her. And upon hearing her scream, Skip becomes Superman because he beats the shit out of everyone and goes after her. And I'm even sitting there going, dun da 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 da. Da, 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 da. Just, yeah. After that. And he runs in and we see that Ragnar and the critters just all over it. She's wearing some weird bikini thing now. There's like a weird loincloth type bikini. How did they get that on her? I don't want to think about that. But Yeah, so he now sees the Ghoulies, who have been kind of separate in their plot from the rest of the plot. They're coming together now. Uh, and the other frat just decides to fuck off. Jeremy doesn't even chase after him. In fact, Jeremy's inclusion in this finale just makes no sense to me because he's not here. Then after they think they've dealt with Ragnar and the Ghoulies, they run into him again. Oh no, we're not done. I'm like, but where were you? Why did you? Anyway, you realize that the comic book has the power. So he turns the Ghoulies, Skip turns the Ghoulies against Ragnar. They attack him, and then they all melt. There's like electric thing or something that electrocutes them, and they all melt. And I think it's over. You see this big hand pop up. I'm like, oh, that's the tease for the next movie. No, we ain't done yet. Apparently, Ragnar and the Ghoulies have fused into one big giant Ragnar Ghoulie creature. Oh my god, the effects on this thing. And here, if McCarthy was chewing his scenery earlier, he is swallowing it whole right now because he is going full camp with this performance. And one thing you notice is that when he talks, the little puppet thing, Ghoulie mouth, also talks, so it's one and the same. And like, oh, the like, oh, that doesn't work now, but they shout down the toilet and it defeats him. Because yeah, before that though, Jeremy shows up and say, hey, we're not done with this. And then when the Ghoulie thing shows up, he just basically gets knocked out. Then the cop shows up and it's like, all right, I saw the breaks. I saw you blow up something. And I know it's you. And you're going to say it's not, right? Well, hey, wait a minute. You're talking about explosive? I got your culprit right here. And it's Jeremy. He's got the dynamite in his pocket. And yeah, so he takes Jeremy out of there. And I was like, wait, how's that guy still alive? And then his frat shows up, and he and Aaron are a thing again now, officially. And he and Mook make up, and yeah, they do tease. More like from the toilet, you know? But yeah, they did do a fourth one, but from what I've seen of the fourth one, like clips and pictures, I don't know how that was going to go, but this was fantastic. Don't want to do it because I was unsure when I saw the Ghoulies talking. I was like, oh, I don't know about this one. However, after watching the entire movie, I can't deny, because I've heard people say, oh, this is the best one, this is the best one, and I'm like, what? Because when I first stumbled upon these, I saw the third one was Ghoulies Go to College, and I'm like, okay, they jumped the shark. They, you know, but put everything together. Kevin McCarthy's performance, John Carpenter's effects and direction. One of the first scenes of this movie I forgot to mention is Kane Hodder with a little ponytail. He's doing something. Some other student is walking, and there's a mop bucket involved. And it's not even the Ghoulies aren't even a thing yet. The guy's walking. Oh, the guy's mopping and skipping them. They loosen the screw on the mop, which you don't do. And he goes to mop, and I don't know how realistic this is because it just doesn't. The mop handle goes up and he goes shit, and the mop bucket goes flying. I think he ends up in it hits Kane Hodder. Kane Hodder ends up in the bucket, plows right into Ragnar, and that's where he's like, oh, these kids. I don't know why I said it like that, but. You know, I'm like, oh. This establishes the tone. Because the first scene was kind of dark and creepy with the Ghoulies showing up and him doing it. But then this establishes the tone of, we're going full camp here. So after that, then the Ghoulies show up and start talking. I'm like, I don't know. But after watching through the whole movie, you put everything together, I can't deny that Ghoulies 3 goes to the moon. It is the best one. It is the best one. So right now the standings are the first Ghoulies is at the bottom. I'm pretty sure that's going to be taken over by 4 because I don't have faith in that at all. And then it's 2 and then 3 is number 1. So it's kind of reversed. But yeah. yeah, it's just wow. I didn't expect it. Another part of me is I didn't expect anything spectacular from this. I was just like, oh, it's gonna be whatever. Ghoulies go to college, woo! But hey, by the way, I couldn't find barely any videos, any reviews at all, really, of 2, right? Only video I found, I said, was the 4K review from CHH. The first one I found some reviews. Joe Blow had one. I think a bit about me or Bloodbath and Beyond had one, but then here there's the Joe Blow Movie Dumpster has one for 3. Movie Dumpster has one. I think Bloodbath and Beyond has one. Jeez, no one cares for 2. I don't think. I'd like 2. I think it was better than 1. But I guess the first one would be a cult classic because it's the first one. It's everything started, but I like 2. Especially if you're going for little creatures, that's what you want. This, if you really want little creatures, there's more in this. But yeah. So what are your thoughts on Ghoulies 3? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Sky, and I'll see you in the next one.